Hey everyone, it's Ange. Hope everyone's doing absolutely fantastic. I know it's been a minute. The past 3 months have been one of the most ridiculous migraine seasons I've ever encountered in my entire life. So, accept my apologies for not being around. I really can't smell anything new, which is a bummer because I have a lot of new things to discuss. But I don't want to negatively associate a fragrance that I purchased, possibly could love, with the string of destruction that I've been having. So, all good. But let's discuss tonight something that is an absolute plethora, cornucopia, clusterfuck of florals. And that is Norell EDT from the House of Norell. So we'll quickly go through the house history, talk about the limited fragrances that he has available, and then make a date in the future to compare everything, because I've got a couple coming on the way that didn't even know existed until I got this video. So props for that. But this fragrance is absolutely awesome. So, okay, let's go over the house history first briefly. And there was nothing anywhere except for Grantica, which I don't like using. Supporting that platform is not a fan of personally. But, so a guy called Norman Norell, 1900, 1972, he was a fashion designer. So he, is in the same vein as people like Gucci, Yves Saint Laurent, Karl Lagerfeld, Dior, everyone that, I shouldn't say everyone, a lot of folks that were fashion designers first and then saw the possibility of expanding their artistry or their pocketbook with the addition of a fragrance line. So he, interestingly, was the first person to ever have a designer name on a dress label as an American. So that's pretty cool. There was a lot of French, Italian people at that time. Blah, blah, blah. He won a Coty Fashion Award. That's pretty cool. And he just released his first fragrance in 1968, which was Norell, and there's not many more after this. So now the thing about Norell, they had a few fragrances in late 60s, mid 70s, and then this complete hiatus until 2015 when they were acquired by Parlux. So Parlux is where a lot of fragrances, I feel like, that are kind of on their way out, but someone wants to pick them up because they're partially successful. Parlux has a lot of those types of fragrances. My other favorite being Animale, the whole line from Suzanne Leon was picked up by Parlux, but all good. So let's get back to Norell, though. So this doesn't bother me with the string of headaches that I've had. So if you are worried about the note breakdown and the note gravity, which we'll talk about in a second, for me anyway, doesn't bother me, surprisingly. But this was released in 1968, again, like we talked about. There's an EDT, EDC, EDP, and Parfum. This is an EDT version. The older ones, this is kind of like a mid-year release, although it says on Fragrantica this is a new one, but I don't think so, because the older ones say Norell this way. This is 50, got any glasses? Yeah, this is 50 ml. Yeah, so again, this version is honestly fine compared to the other versions that I have that say Norell this way. The bummer about these is for some reason they go off. So if you get a bottle on eBay, please make it sure that it's as full as possible. They're really not that expensive. People will try to gouge you, and I don't think any perfume is worth more than you can pay for, but some prices are just ridiculous. So this was 1968 by Josephine Catapano. Now, I did not know Josephine Catapano did this fragrance. She has only done a few other fragrances, and the most iconic being Estee Lauder Youth Dew. So she did Estee Lauder Youth Dew, she did JHL, and then Norell. So I love Youth Dew, I love JHL, so it makes sense that she did this. I wish she would have done more stuff, but she only did 7. So anyway, I digress as usual. So the top notes of this are Narcissus, Galbanum, Hyacinth, Lavender, Bergamot, Lemon, and Mandarin Orange. That's a lot. The mid notes are Carnation, Arm Lily, Rose, Coriander, Mimosa, Iris, Gardenia, Ylang Ylang, Jasmine, Cardamom, Cinnamon, and Orchid. Again, a lot. And the base notes are Oak Moss, Vetiver, Myrrh, Musk, Amber, Cedarwood, Sandalwood, and Vanilla. So there are just a whole boatload of notes in this fragrance. But I will tell you, it's almost smoky to me, right? So I've had this on all day. But you smell Galbanum, Narcissus, Lavender, definitely Bergamot right off the top. And even though it's really citrusy, and I don't know if Galbanum honestly can come across as smoky. I've never smelled something Galbanum that's smoky. But This is So you smell coriander in here as well. Definitely cardamom. And I already smell cinnamon and orchid. So, again, this is one of those fragrances where the notes that you see listed, top, mid, and base, may come across drastically different on your skin. But it is like... So, it's not been spring here in Pittsburgh. It's been below 70 for the past month and raining almost every single day. But ideally, if it were spring, if I had a garden of citrus trees or a citrus orchard that was surrounded by beautiful florals, and then for some reason there's oak moss around, and then if I'm burning incense with myrrh and then smelling amber, smelling like, say, there's sandalwood trees for some reason. I know you can't extract that way, but let's use our imagination. But it's really just, again, being outdoors, citrus grove, super lots of florals, a really rich base. But it smells like, it's just smoke. It comes across kind of smoky to me. But then, God, the way the florals, it is absolutely fantastic. Like, absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it's when you smell it, it's one of those where you're like, oh my God, what is that? Okay, I need that. Regardless of whether you identify male, female, non-binary, it doesn't matter. It's absolutely beautiful. Oh my God. I don't think it's too heavy for summertime either. I really don't. Again, the notes may seem like an entire battalion of notes coming to fight one person, but I don't find it heavy. Now, the EDT version, I will tell you, is much lighter and does not have the projection or sillage that the EDP or Parfum does, obviously. But, God, it's so beautiful. Like, it's absolutely gorgeous. So, where I wear this, I would wear this anywhere, honestly. I wore it to my son's soccer game today. I wore it driving around doing errands today. I wore it working out. Doesn't matter. It's awesome. And as I got warmer working out, it really didn't change scent profile too much, but I sprayed it on significantly before that. So perhaps if I put it on right before I worked out and then went and worked out, I would get probably, obviously, stronger performance out of that. But it is so beautiful. So if you love vintage fragrances and you love florals, you love really rich, dynamic fragrances that are not in any way linear, that will surprise you, because this does play differently depending on the date, the temperature, my hormones. It's either a little bit less strong or more strong. But, oh my gosh. And Josephine Catapano, God bless her. She passed away in 2012, and I wish we could get the ghost of Josephine Catapano to come back and maybe send her back in the future, send her in the past, make some more fragrances, and then let her kind of see them be successful in her afterlife, which I hope you are. Oh my God. It's so beautiful. So I don't see, obviously, a resemblance to Used To or JHL, but the complexity of the notes and the way she blended them, that's where her mastery just really comes in. Like, Used To is one of my go-to fragrances for life. I will get buried with bottles of that and Shalimar and a few other things, but it's just, oh my gosh, like, you don't smell things like this anymore, like, it's just not something you would smell now. And I highly recommend anyone that wants to smell something that is absolutely stunning on anyone, that, again, citrus, florals, and then a beautiful, beautiful rich base. Oh my God. Try it out. It's fantastic. Again, this is Norell EDT. You can get the EDP, Parfum, Cologne, doesn't matter. They're all fantastic. I love you, and I will talk to you guys soon. Take care. Be well. Bye.